All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with Eli Manning and the New York Giants. On 1st and 10, Watson. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target. And now it's 2nd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined. But sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Now Watson, and that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Out of the gun, Watson. And that will be incomplete as well. I don't know, he had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus of the whole
that's
thing.
true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. The Texans send the punter out. Back deep is Kalen Clay. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. On 1st down, Manning trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kayvon Webster. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick 6s.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Cody Latimer now on the return. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. Manning and the Giants come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now Manning to try again after the pick 6. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Evan Ingram, the tight end. That'll bring up 2nd down. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off-kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Manning. And oh, look at that. A diving catch. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
When I played in the yard as a kid, I used to imitate the spectacular catches that I would see on TV. I don't think I ever imitated one quite that well.
Come on, give yourself some credit.
No, I know better. What we just saw there, that was pretty special.
On 1st and 10, here's Manning. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now a play fake. Manning. Rush coming, and he's taken down. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
3rd and long for the Giants, and Eli following the sack. Shotgun now for Manning. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down. So Manning to Beckham in this defense, they better hone in on that connection.
It's almost like an electrical charge for him, isn't it? When he catches the first one, I'm talking about OBJ, he just goes to the huddle and says more, more, more. And really, he's just one of those guys that once he gets going, look out.
Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Back deep for the Texans, Will Fuller. Taking it about the 16. It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On 2nd down, here's Miller. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Yeah.
A shotgun snap for Watson. And he's got Miller. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 19 and picking up the 1st. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
And this one complete to Will Fuller. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Somebody missed an assignment. He was waving his arm saying, hey, I'm wide open. They found him.
You think? You think? I mean, he was so wide open. Did you see he was just windmilling like he was Don Quixote or somebody out there? And then they found him for a really nice gain.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Here's Watson. He gets this one to Bruce Ellington. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. Just they move, and they know it affects it.
And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Watson hands this to Foreman. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Black 22!
From the gun, here's Watson. Dumps it complete to Miller. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Kaimi Fairbairn now to attempt the Texan field goal. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn it into first downs and hopefully points.
Manning now on first down. Throw left side complete. It's Shepard. And he's brought down after a good gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Not only was it a double move route, it was the dreaded post corner for any defensive back because you think that he's going all the way to the post in a deep route, and then he breaks it off to the corner. That's hard to flip your hips and get there.
Well, he didn't flip him in time. Big play. From midfield, here's Manning. He gets it complete to Latimer. And he's brought down. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now the rookie first-rounder from Penn State, Saquon Barkley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
They run here with Stewart, and he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with the football here as we begin quarter number 2. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here. From the gun, it's Manning. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the 1st down. Now to be 4th and short.
And the kick by Rosas is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They go play action here on 1st down. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. The Clemson connection. Watson to Hopkins for a big one. 62 yards. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Here's Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller from a yard out. And the Texans will extend their lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead is now 17-3. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. Latimer on the return. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. New York set to take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. He takes this for 3 to the 29. In the Week 2 game at Dallas, Saquon Barkley didn't really have much room to run. 11 carries, 28 yards.
And what they've been emphasizing with him is that every carry does not have to be a spectacular play. Remember Week 1 against Jacksonville? That 68-yard weaving, cutting, twisting run for a touchdown? They don't all have to be that. They need those tough, gritty yards. There was just nowhere to run against Dallas. But he did catch 14 passes, but only for 80 yards in that game.
Those 14 catches, though, a Giants team record. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Working from the gun, Manning. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
First trip to the red zone for the Giants. They've got it 1st and goal at the 7. Manning, and incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Again, it's Manning. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Whitney merciless. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Third and long for the Giants, and Eli following the sack. From the gun, Manning. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney. He's the one to get in this time, and back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, this from 37. And Rosas puts this one through. And a second field goal here gets him back within 11 now. It's 17-6. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
On first down, it's Watson. Hopkins, strong running. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hopkins. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Operating from the gun, Watson. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Give him 30 yards there.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Here's Watson. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Damon Harrison with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Down! Green, they're down! Green, they're down!
Watson. Flush under pressure again, and down he goes again. Kareem Martin in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? On the counter, it's Miller. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. The Texans send the punter out. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his 1st. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. New York set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this
you're
is
going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the 2nd half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
The Giants on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, Manning. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he picks up the 1st before he's taken down at the 29. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy. Bring out.
Throwing on first down is Manning. On the catch, this is Jonathan Stewart. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Manning now on first down. And his throw is incomplete. Cody Latimer, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. A CD switching gears for a second. After last year, 7 NFL head coaches were relieved of their duties. And in week 1 of this season, those 7 coaches went 0-7. They fared a little better, though, in week 2.
They certainly did. Finally got into the win column. 3 of those happened. 1 in Chicago, 1 in Tennessee, and 1 in Indianapolis. Finally getting off the schneid. The other guys trying to get it done in week 3.
And including John Gruden. Curious to see when he gets his first victory out west. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
But there's no trace of nervousness there. He was able to diagnose that play from his linebacker position, stay in excellent coverage, and bat the ball away.
The Giants on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now Manning again. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Shepard. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. They create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this 3rd quarter. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Olivier Vernon brings him down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Watson hands to Miller on the draw. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. Out of the gun, Watson. Underneath for Miller. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. 7 yards on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Manning now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Manning going to throw. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And it's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time. And it's second down.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again. Manning. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
To throw is Manning. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down.
What's the old adage, be quick but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Throwing again. Manning. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Evan Ingram was the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
The Giants on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Manning to throw once more. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Whitney Merciless in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for New York. And now out comes Houston. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Miller. And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Set. Black 22. Black 22.
To throw on 2nd is Watson. That's caught by his tight end, Jordan Akins. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
The Texans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. A shotgun snap for Watson. And that is incomplete.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fielded at the 33. 51 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. And now out come the Giants. They were forced to punt last time. Now, I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
On 1st and 10, here's Manning. To Barkley on the check down. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Shotgun now for Manning. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. On first down, Manning. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw again. Manning. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. They find some open field here. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, 39 yards. And the Giants able to get this back within a touchdown. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
Rosas now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Black 22! Black 22!
Now a first down throw, Watson. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. Heading out as the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Alec Ogletree coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. And they went empty backfield, and because of that, nobody was there to pick up the blitz.
And you know that offenses, when they go with the empty backfield, they have different things designed on every play to try to account for things. But what people often forget, defense is audible as well. And a lot of times when they see an empty backfield, they audible right into a blitzing situation.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Manning and the Giants come up now 1st and 10 at their own 43. From the gun, it's Manning. His throw incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Manning. Open man right side is Ingram. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Operating from the gun. Manning. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. He got out of bounds. That's a good thing, but still short of the 1st.
And now, since this brings up 4th down, the defensive play caller, grab your nerves, because now you don't want to be so amped up that you give them a 1st down by getting out of your lanes, but you also don't want to just lay back and let them have it easily.
And now out comes Houston. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 22. To throw is Watson. Going deep for Hopkins. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to do with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. Back to the air. Watson on 2nd down. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. Watson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Hey, black 22.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down.
Black 22.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. Over the middle, complete. That's Hopkins. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. From the gun, here's Watson. Open man is Miller. He's got it. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the 1st. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
That's so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from him.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 8. Watson now to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Janoris Jenkins with good coverage that time as he was able to get in there and knock it away.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Fairbairn able to put this one through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. New York set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
He'll look to throw. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
He's back to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Back to throw. And that's incomplete. This defense looking impenetrable now. 3 straight incompletions. They're giving him nowhere to go with the football. He's maybe a little frustrated back there.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. When you've missed on 3 straight, there's going to be some frustration. But now he's got to make sure that that frustration is temporary, not lingering. Big throw coming up.
They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. So now let's reset here, Charles. They do have 2 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock twice. This one's not quite over yet.
No, and what you're doing on defense, you're going to use both timeouts, obviously. But you've got to call defenses are going to force the issue early, meaning you want that play over fast. You don't want to give them time to dance around in the backfield or run a wide sweep that'll take off time. Blitz them, put pressure on them, make sure that play ends quickly so that you can go ahead and keep moving.
And now the Giants, they get the officials' attention and take another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Again, it's Foreman, and he's going to get this one down to the 30. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The Texans on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 8. 10th carry now for Lamar Miller. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, we got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Giants ready to come out now. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Working from the gun, Manning. It's hauled in by Shepard. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. 1 yard is the gain there. It'll bring up 2nd down. Manning to throw on 2nd down. He gets it complete to Latimer. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Throwing is Manning on third down. He's going to let it fly. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll be down deep in Houston territory. Manning to Beckham. A big play there. 56 yards. And they're down to 17 seconds now here after the spike. And they don't get the reception. Incomplete. So now they're down to 17 seconds remaining. Again, it's Manning. And this is caught at the 8. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets them up now 1st and goal. One final try now for Manning. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal: win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. It's a win for the Texans as we say so long from Houston.